Ready when you are. Tell me what's happening out here in
Okay,
the
so we baled this off, harvested it about 3 weeks ago, and now we've got pretty good regrowth. Predominantly the alfalfa came back. The grass in here is about 6 inches, and alfalfa's, a little over a foot tall. It's starting to blossom again. But so this is about 3 acres, this entire stretch along this ditch here, and we got about 470 bales off it of first cutting. Really good quality. I expect to get a minimum of $5 a bale off that. So that's kind of a gross income of about $780 an acre on this buffer strip. I think that pretty much shows that we've got a buffer strip here. We're making it work both environmentally and economically, with very little input. So we haven't fertilized it this year. I did, however, put an insecticide about 2 weeks ago because we had a leafhopper infestation. I didn't really want it to stress this alfalfa. And as you can see it with this height, we're definitely going to get some good filtration if we do get a large rain event. A couple of things just to bring up also in closing is I did have an area here where, even though I had this buffer, I did see some scouring there, so I went ahead and put in a grass waterway up to the point where our grade flattens out again. And also I put in a riprap outfall here. It's got geotextile underneath it, and then riprap here. This is where our runoff concentrates. What I want to do is spread that flow out a little bit, drop some sediments out, and keep our sediments here. I know that this is working because in the ditch behind that, we always had a sediment deposit, and this was put in 2 years ago, and I haven't seen any evidence of a big sediment deposit downstream. So I'm pretty sure this is working. One of the challenges that I'm having here is in the ditch, the banks themselves. I'm having a tough time getting grass to grow. I want to grow real thick grass on that to kind of choke out the broadleafs, and to be honest, I've had a tough time with the thistle and some of the other woody plants on here. I've got some bush honeysuckle growing, so that's been a challenge. So I went ahead and mowed this, and I treated the woody debris or the woody growth, and I'm gonna try to reseed with maybe a waterway mix with some fescue in it, just to try and get some more grass growing. We're getting close to September. It's a good time to try to get that established, so I'm going to give that a go. So we've only taken one cutting, and the way I'm going to time this is because I want to make sure that we achieved our goal in filtering the runoff before here. It's yet to be seen if I'm going to pull another cutting or not, because at the end of the day, I want to have at least 8 inches of vegetative growth that's going to overwinter on this to provide for that filtration. So it's really going to depend on the weather from here. If I feel like I've got enough time to grow that, then I will. So on a perfect year, 2 cuttings.
Yeah, all right, tell me about this.
Okay, so what we've got here is this is the county drain portion of this, and it goes through this culvert under the roadway. And this culvert, we've surveyed it, and it's perched about 1.5 feet high. So I decided to do something completely unorthodox in this situation and take advantage of that. So from here upstream 600 feet, I actually overdug the ditch. If I'm using that culvert as my starting point, if I look at the whole drain, I'm actually not overdug. But basically what it does is there's about 1.5 feet of water in here right now that's providing some wetland species to grow in there, and I think that it will probably, in a low flow situation, it's probably going to drop some nutrients out in there. It's like a shallow water wetland. completely unscientific, just something that I decided to attempt to do, and I really have no way to rate its effectiveness, but just something you look at what you got on your farm and you try different things and see if they help. But this it's like I said, it's about 1.5 foot deep and it runs about 600 feet up there. I'm gonna call it, at least for now, shallow water wetland, maybe a deposition pool. But if this culvert ever gets lowered, that situation would probably be not available to us anymore. So I think in closing, the big thing I want to say is that everybody should look at their farm. Not everybody's got the ability to have the advanced equipment and the time or the money to invest in stuff, but I think that everybody can find something that will work on their farm. And if we go back to 101 is soil conservation, let's keep that topsoil on your field. You worked hard to pay for it, you've worked hard to improve it. If we keep it on there, that you're just not giving away your investment. That's just the simplest way to look at it. And when you're doing that, you're retaining the nutrients and residues. You're retaining those right along with that. So no special equipment. I think be mindful of your crop rotations, of your tillage methods, of your fertilizer applications. Certainly it makes economic sense for everybody to do soil sampling and to some degree precision applications. So I think everybody can do something, and together we're all going to make a difference. This works for us both environmentally and economically. So there's solutions out there for everybody.